All right. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the No Reset Speedrun Marathon. This marathon is currently benefiting the Bail Project. For those of you unaware, the Bail Project is a nonprofit organization designed to combat mass incarcerations by disrupting the money bail system, one person at a time. So I hope you guys are watching closely and paying attention and do whatever you can to support this cause. We have a lot of people going out, risking their lives every single day for something that's something that expands beyond gaming and just, you know, it affects our day-to-day lives, not just you, but everybody around you. Right now, we have SmashF13ND doing the run of Resident Evil 2, I believe, Leon A. I'd like to give him a special thanks for coming through last minute to fill in for another runner who unfortunately couldn't make it. Welcome to the stream, SmashF13ND.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, so if you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, or if you just want to get right to the run, it's fine. Just let us know so we can get the countdown started.
Ooh, what's there to say? I'm SmashF13ND. I'm gonna be running Leon A for you today.
The chief of police.
One of the most popular speedruns for the game. And yeah, I'm gonna be trying to explain as much of it as I can today for you all. And I think that's pretty much it.
Alright, so just let us know when you're ready for that countdown and we can get it started.
Okay then. Okay, ready for the countdown.
On your mark.
Oh, yeah, you. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go.
Alright.
The run from the beginning.
The run hasn't even started yet, and we already have a donation from Witch Rain, our previous runner. Amazing run of Resident Evil 1 is Jill. She donated $5 and said, "Love you all. I am honored to be a part of this marathon and wish good luck to all the runners." And a smiley face.
Thank you, Witch Rain. Truly appreciate it. Honestly, thank you.
Sorry about that. I thought you
I'd like to take a moment to mention something that I thought was, I found a little ironic.
I don't have a clue.
You got the last two runs were knife only, so versus all these zombies and monsters, you know, no matter how big or small, Chris and Jill managed to overcome all their problems without drawing their firearms one time. And I believe in, you know, something that we're really trying hard to fight for. It's kind of crazy to see that the real life police can't give us that same courtesy.
I fucking love you, man. I don't know what, that just gave me the chills, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just, listen, even me growing up, like I grew up, we were talking about it in the other channel before the run, and you know, I was growing up in the suburbs, I was a white boy, you know, there was one black family in the whole city, everyone knew who they were, and I remember the grown-ups saying, I was a kid, we're talking like 5, 6 years old, and you hear the grown-ups saying, "Oh yeah, the black family there, yeah, but they're okay." And thinking about how that's the kind of attitude people had towards people of color when I was 5, 6 years old, and that today
They're saying you should.
Yeah, I should be closer to the mic, so yeah, I'm just gonna say it over just to make sure everyone gets it. But essentially, when I was a kid, like I remember the grown-up saying about the one black family we had in our town. I grew up in the suburbs, and you know, white town basically, and you know, the one black family that was there, people were like, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, the black family, yeah, but they're okay."
Oh
you know,
man.
as if it had to do anything with anything. And
Who,
I'm like, if
who
when I
are
back when I
you?
was 5, 6 years old, that's what
Oh,
people were
you must
saying,
be the
despite
new
the,
guy.
you know, it was a different time and whatever, all
Leon.
that bullshit. The fact that today we're still at
Sorry,
that point,
It looks
like
like
there's a
your
real problem
party
here. And
has been canceled.
you know, I was ignorant myself
What
growing up because that's
happened?
the environment I grew up. But I still
About
think
2
that,
months ago,
and that's the thing, people don't get
there
it.
was
You don't
this
need to be
incident
beating up on a black person and call them the
involving
N-word to be
zombies
racist
in a
or to be
mansion
bigoted or
located in
to
the outskirts of this
just
city.
be an asshole, really. And
Chris
people
the
don't
other
realize
Stars
that, and a lot
members
of people
discovered
don't
that
know
Umbrella
about
was behind
their own racism and their own
everything.
bigotry and their own bias
They
against
risked
people of
their
color, and they
lives
don't
to reveal the
realize it.
truth,
People aren't
but
born
no
evil.
one
They
believed
aren't
them.
born bad. They're the product of the
Not
environment.
long after that,
And that's what we're fighting against.
all
You know, we're not
this
just fighting
started
against
to happen.
bad cops, bad people, bigots, racists.
Hang in there.
It's the whole
Don't worry
concept
about
of
me.
racism itself that needs
Just
to be
rescue the
eradicated.
survivors in the other rooms.
And I mean, just by coming together,
Take this
spreading
key card.
knowledge, love,
You should
not
be able
hate,
to unlock the doors in
and
the hall
just
with this. Now go.
being, I mean, to
But
me, it sounds like it's so
just
simple.
go.
Just be good human beings to one another, no matter what.
Fine.
No matter
I'm
like
coming
how
back
tall,
for you.
small,
Just
black,
hold
yellow,
on.
purple with pink dots. Like, I don't give a shit. Just be good to one another.
Yeah.
That's basically exactly what it is. And people just need, it's uncomfortable. When I realized, when I started working in Montreal, when I moved out of my little suburbia, that, you know, I wasn't accustomed to having people of color around me. And then I realized that, yes, I was uncomfortable at first. And then you just realize they're just people, you know? And I had to kind of work on myself. And it's tough and it's uncomfortable. And we're talking about something that happened like over 10 years ago. So I was still like 18 years old, growing up in suburbia, not realizing that, you know, without being overtly racist, to the core, I was raised in the racist society. As even though I was not beating on people of color or insulting them, or I was talking, like, it's just, it's so ingrained in people, and that's what we need to fight. That's exactly what we need to fight. So when I hear you say stuff like that, man, and I mean, I've been watching the news and all that shit, I was shaking, you know, when I was watching the day that Trump did his photo op at the church. Like, I'm Canadian, and I was shaking with anger and rage. And I was crying with sadness, because I'm like, what the hell is this? So just be good to one another. Just, we're literally on a flaming ball with a crust of dust spinning around the sun at millions of miles an hour. So, like, can we just get along? Is that hard?
Yeah. I've never understood the concept of racism.
It's just, and it's there. It's more around us than we like to believe or we like to admit most of the time.
It looks like we're not gonna find
And as good-natured or good-hearted as you are, you know, maybe you are part of the problem. You don't even realize yourself, and realizing it is the first step towards making that problem disappear.
There's no reason for us to stay any longer than necessary. Let's split up.
You know, yes, I
look
like
for
to
any
joke around. I
survivors,
say a lot of
and get out of
goofy,
here.
stupid stuff like on stream all the time, but
Right.
that's I
One last
stand
thing.
by every single
Here's
word I
a
said.
radio.
And
Take
honestly, there's so much good
That
in
way
this
we
world.
can keep in touch if anything happens.
We mustn't let it be drowned out by all the bad. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and for anybody who questions whether or not there's, you know, good people, you know, we've been online for what, just four hours, playing for 4 hours. We've already raised over $1,000 just to help these people who are fighting for what's right. And, you know, and that's just this stream. There was another stream. They started with the goal of 500, and at the end of the day, they had reached like $250,000 towards the same goal. Another streamer, a good friend of mine, started with, I believe, a $200 goal, ended their stream with $5,000 raised in just like 4.5 hours. Like, people are out here, and we're actively trying, and there's this big community of people who have ill feelings toward toward us. I read a comment the other day like, you know, we shouldn't be made to feel bad because we're silent. And coming from an African American or a black individual, whatever you want to call it, you know, me personally, it's wrong to be silent simply because of this reason. You have a choice to be silent. Because no matter what you do, if you look like me, it's something you have to deal with. Like, no matter how you feel about it. So the fact that there's so many other people who see the problem and they have the option to choose whether or not they want to deal with it, that's beyond disrespectful to say, you know, it makes you uncomfortable. It makes everybody uncomfortable. People are literally being murdered. People aren't dying. They are being murdered on the regular. I don't care how you feel.
Dude, like, honestly, it's just like, there was a tweet from Will Smith, I think it was last week or the week before that, and he said racism is not growing or is not more present. Racism is being filmed. That's the difference now. We're more exposed to it. Like social media and everything that's happening, everyone has a camera on them, you know? It's not something that's been a growing problem. It was there. It's just that people couldn't or wouldn't speak up for a lot of reasons. And basically what it comes down to is, and when it comes to whatever issue is, do you want to be an accomplice or do you want to be a witness? If you're a witness, witnesses speak up. An accomplice, at best, and I'm saying this with big quotes, they stay silent with the knowledge that they have of what they did see. It's as simple as that. So if you stay silent, well, you know, you're complicit. If in full knowledge of everything that's been going on, you stay silent, then you're complicit. You might not be beating up people of color, like I said, or calling them racial slurs or anything like that. But it is a form of racism, plain and simple. And honestly, like, and if anyone doesn't like what I'm saying and they're like, oh, you know what, like, then unfollow the channel, just go away. We don't need you. But to those who are here for the right reasons, I love it, each and every single one of you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Same here. And if you guys haven't taken the time to find more information about what the Bail Project truly is, definitely do so by following the link I just posted in chat. Know that obviously we're aware that during these protests, you know, there are people, when we speak about the protests, we're speaking about the innocent, the people who come out there with good intentions, who just want to speak and end up just getting caught in the crossfire. We're not addressing rioters or people, vandalizers, I don't know if that's a word, you know, people who are there with ill intent. And so when we raise money, it's to help those who went out there with the intention to help others and just got caught up.
And people don't seem to realize that a lot of the people vandalizing and starting the riots are actually either people, known white supremacists, or people from the other camp, whatever you want to call it, trying to discredit this important movement. And yes, people are pissed off, people are enraged, and rightfully so. And telling them, oh, can you protest peacefully? They've tried that. They've done it. You see the results.
You saw the results 60 years ago.
It's not the first time. That's the worst part. I don't remember the exact years, honestly. I'm sorry off the top of my head, but over 60 years ago, like you said. And there's like, I think 4, on the news they keep saying those 4 years repeatedly. And it's still going on. And that's speaks volume that it's still happening today.
We saw, I mean, you know, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I will say peaceful protests lead to assassinated leaders. That's happened. That's happened. So let's not forget. Let's not forget. Crazy.
Once again,
it's
Level
crazy.
Bet, thank you for. I want to say thank you for being with us, man. That's all I can say right now. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for being with me. It's a breath of fresh air to have a struggle, and even especially coming from the perspective of someone who knows they can't truly relate, but still puts their best foot forward to empathize and assist. It's a good feeling. And obviously,
I understand that I will never understand what it is to be black. Someone posted that once. I'm like, that sums it up perfectly. I can never claim to understand, because it's not about walking in your shoes. It's walking literally in your skin and who you are and your identity. And I can't do that. What I do know is it's not right. And when I see something that's wrong, I can't just stand by and do nothing. That I understand.
And I hope everyone takes notice. I highly doubt it's due to SmashF13ND's gameplay, because you are doing amazingly. I don't mean to take the attention off of you and your run. We have a lot of great runners out here, and I appreciate all of you guys for coming through. But do understand that at the end of the day, you know, these are just video games. There's way more important things to be discussed.
And that's why this marathon initially, even though the charity changed with current events, I mean, this marathon at its core, its goal is to bring together the community to do good, to work towards the greater good, no matter what the cause. And right now, it's more important than ever.
Yeah, I didn't really want to interrupt or anything, because
it's all good.
You know, it's pretty important to you guys. You both actually, and to many people around the world.
And well, thank you.
It's definitely a lot more important than the run, I kind of feel.
Oh, you're alive. That's all that matters.
Somehow, I'm still alive.
We got quite a few donations as we talked a little bit about ourselves. I had a couple more things I wanted to say in regards to my past and, you know, things that make me that fueled me, you know. Like I said before, I've had an hour of sleep in the last like day or so, but I'm still here. I'm still hosting. I've never hosted before. This is my very first time hosting, so I hope those of you who had you know, a little experience with me hosting the last few runs appreciated what I had to bring. But to get back onto the donation aspect, because we appreciate you guys in chat as well, those of you donating and showing love and support for this cause we're fighting for. We have a $5 donation from Greece. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong in that in the chat.
Oh, Gree, just Gree.
Oh, Gree got junk.
Yeah.
$5 donation says, "Have a great event, guys. Love and hype."
Hype.
Hype.
Oh, we have a $10 donation from Hurry Boy. Says, "SmashF13ND, I need you to do the sheep sounds, please."
Oh my god, I was telling people not to donate this.
Also, thanks for the event, guys. Do the sheep sound now, though. Kappa.
Now? Okay. It's kind of like a Welsh meme, because I'm a Welsh runner. Like, not many people know that I'm from Wales, so you know what they say about the Welsh people as well.
When you said Welsh, I was thinking grape juice. You have to educate me.
The country, Wales.
Oh man.
And most people who wrong room. Most people who sort of don't like the Welsh claim that we supposedly have sex with sheep. So that's kind of the meme.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Next donation. Viking Gamer 87 with the $10 says, "I already
Ben, you told the
I'm
city
gonna
officials that you knew something.
Viking
about
Gamer
what's been going
87
on,
the $10
didn't you?
donation says,
What did you tell them?
already know what you came for.
Who the heck are you?
I don't know if that's what he
I'm
was going
trying
for,
to
but
find my
I put my own
boyfriend.
twist on it.
His name's John.
$5
He was
donation
working for
from
a branch office of
Insubordinates.
Umbrella
That's actually
based in
my twin
Chicago,
sister.
but he suddenly
Says,
disappeared
hope
6
this
months
helps the
ago.
people who needs bail. This is a
I heard a
huge
rumor
movement,
that
and I
he's
know
here
it's
in the
not much,
city.
but I want to contribute. Also, oh
I
my
don't
god,
know
that's my
anything.
twin. Oh my
And even if I
god.
did, why would I want to tell you?
Thank you so much, twin.
Okay, I say
Also, I just want to
have
point
been
out, like, the
Okay.
amount
Does
doesn't
anyone
matter.
know where they
Every
put the key to
donation
this
counts,
cell?
no matter what.
I have it right here,
So thank you to
officer.
everyone who's donating. And if
But I'm
you
not
think,
about to
oh, you know,
leave
it's
this
only
cell.
that, well, if
Those
all of you come
zombies aren't
together,
the
it's
only
not just
things
it's gonna
crawling
be a
around
big
out there.
that. You know what I mean? So yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh no problem at all. Yeah, and the great thing about the bail
Like I
project
said,
is,
I'm not leaving this cell.
if you guys read a little bit about it,
Get out of here
is
before
what they
you
do is
lead it
basically
right
try to
me.
create a
Hey,
revolving
I'm not
fund
going
for
anywhere.
bail.
I'm the
If you
only
guys
cop
aren't
left
familiar,
alive in this building.
when you do cash
What?
bails, I believe
Look,
if
you wanna
the
live, then you're gonna
person
have to leave with me.
follows through with all their court
But
dates
do you
throughout the
even
case,
know how to get out of
the
the
money
city?
goes back to the
There's a
person
kennel
or
in the back of the
I guess
building.
the fund that
Inside
paid.
the kennel is a manhole.
So
Go through
when you're
and it'll lead you to
donating,
the sewer
you're not just
entrance.
donating to, you know,
Won't
help
be
out
easy.
1 or 2 people.
All right, I'm
If
going.
the conditions are met in which they're intended, you know, this money can be used time and time and time again to save people, you know, over and over and over, or help people over and over. That's something to consider. We have another donation of $70 from Avasam. Avasam.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yo, thank you
All
here
good.
for correcting me.
It's all good.
Thanks for that message, G-Virus. Shout out to my good friends Rat Sugar, Skate for a Living, and everyone else who are actively protesting right now. I love you guys. Yo, we love you too. He didn't say me. I still love you. Ferris with the $30 donation says, I'm poo at these, but I wish all the luck to these great runners supporting an amazing cause. I hope everyone in the US is staying safe and keep fighting the good fight. Yo, some of us are trying our best to stay safe, but I really appreciate those of us who are going out there and, you know, speaking up for those of us who aren't. $5 donation from DDG says, don't want to take anything away from Level Best, but his sheep is better than your duck.
I'm with the
Oh wow!
I'm gonna just
Oh my
duck
God.
away from that comment and move on to the next donation.
I gotta say, man, Quack's fired.
Oh my God.
I think they're both really great. I was laughing when you did that impression when I was watching the speedruns.
Pay attention to Harding when he's gonna do his Resident Evil remake run. I don't call him the Quack Master for nothing. It's actually pretty scary.
Oh my goodness.
Look forward to it.
I'm definitely gonna be watching the runs for sure.
Alright, we have another donation. $60 from the Darkened Rose. Keep it up, everyone. Let's fight the good fight and band together to take down one thing that should have been gone long ago. Racism. One thing that shouldn't existed in the first place, I should say, but I feel you. Shout out to NoReset and everyone that helped put this marathon together. I'm glad to be running with you guys again. Smile emoji.
I mean, when I hear people saying, oh, you know, it's human nature, you know, it's always going to exist. All right, it's human nature because that's what, like, in our genes, like when we're cavemen and everything, that's how we were. So cut your electricity, live under a rock, and strip all your clothes because that, I mean, if you're going to talk the talk and walk the walk, you know?
And it's something beyond what I was thinking about the other day. It's like, obviously these people committing these, you know, racially fueled acts of hate is like, obviously they're capable of good things. They aren't capable of good things towards other people who don't look like them, right? They say hi to, you know, their neighbor or something like that, but, you know, they want to kneel on the neck of somebody else. Like, come on, dude. It's a choice.
Right here.
Yep.
Hey, I can't reach the ventilation.
Racism is a
I'm
septic
going to
pool.
have to find another way around. I'll catch up with you later.
And that's where Smash Feed is in the game. It says so on the wall. It's only fitting.
What? Ada, wait!
Yep, true. Gotta thank everyone for the donations.
Honestly, we're on...
Gotta keep it up.
I didn't know what to expect this being our first online marathon, but I gotta thank everyone because honestly, we're on such a great pace already. It's mind-boggling for me, like in a good way. I reassure you.
Yeah, this is my first online marathon and my actual first big marathon as well.
Yo, welcome aboard.
You're more than welcome.
So I'm kind of a bit nervous, you know.
It's all
Don't
good.
worry, you got this.
I know I've got the run for sure.
It's easy, man. Just don't die.
Just don't die, forehead, right?
You just have to believe. Believe and say to yourself, I have the power!
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm never gonna beat that impression.
What a great Superman impression.
No, that's
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
Man, I know.
I mean, come on. When you get a Spider-Man quote, like say it's Spider-Man, you know, like na 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 Spider-Man.
You know.
He's got a soundboard. How come you don't have a laser, Woody?
I would have really loved to show off YOLO Horde here, but it hasn't been going that well in practice, so I had to take a safety safe and do safety strats. So I'm sorry, everyone.
Better safe than
I'm
sorry.
bad,
they
I
say.
know. Yeah, that's
Say
true.
safety dance.
No! Not like this.
Full smash.
Oh god, that's really scary.
And I thought the game was spooky. Hi, Liquor.
I'm taking this anyway, just to be extra safe.
I love the
You know,
interrogation room. I shot myself the first time I played that game in that room.
Oh, we all
I was
did.
way too young to be playing this game, but it didn't turn out so bad.
How old were you guys when you first experienced Resident Evil?
When it came out.
Yeah, when it came out. Oh
Was it
man,
96?
yeah.
I think it was like 5 or 6, yeah, something like
I wasn't
that.
even born yet.
Let's see. 1998 actually, so I was 10.
Yeah, 98, yeah. Same.
Yeah. Actually, I was 9 because, yeah, I was 9.5 years old when I first played this game. There was this place selling records around the corner, and you could pay $1 an hour to play on consoles there. And that's where I went to play all the games my parents wouldn't let me play at home.
Was it called Babbage?
Oh, can you imagine? Your parents would be so broke if we started playing Resident Evil all the time. They'd be like, give me another $1, give me another $1. I gotta complete this game. Give me another $1.
I was so fortunate to grow up with a dad who was really into games. So like, you know, Sega Genesis, PlayStation, and things like that, like we were exposed to through him. And like, so we would always watch him play Resident Evil. And I had 2 older brothers as well. So even though I was like, you know, 2 or 3, I had exposure to these games. And fortunately, like, it wasn't something like that scared me a lot. The first time I got scared from a game was Clock Tower. Oh boy. But yeah, so like for the longest time, I would play Resident Evil games from my dad's collection, and it took me to like grow up and move out of the house to like start my own. Now I have like a little box of games from Resident Evil. I even have the Essentials box that's not even opened, and it has Outbreak, Code Veronica, and Resident Evil 4 in it.
Me, I remember like the first time, like that game really like scared me shitless, but the one game I would say that left the biggest impression of me from a horror perspective would be Silent Hill 3. And not just because of what you would see, it was the soundtrack that got under my skin. Like all the sound effects, something about them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree with that one, because I've actually recently started to play my first blind playthrough of Silent Hill 1. Never ever played a Silent Hill game before, apart from the HD collection, and I was told that they're like the really bad versions of it. So I went back to Silent Hill 1, and I'm really enjoying it so far.
Yeah, the Fear series as well. The first game in the Fear series was also, especially with the light.
That scared people?
It was way ahead of its time, you know, and not a lot of games tackle Japanese style, you know, more traditional horror, you know. So that was quite something, and the graphics were pretty good for the time.
I remember there being one scare, like you're climbing down this ladder, and like when this camera shifts, and like the girl's like standing right there. I remember that got me, but. I personally, I like watched a lot of horror movies and things growing up. Like the first time I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, I was probably like 4, so I'm not a good judge of what's scary.
Don't worry. As a kid, I was traumatized with Chucky. But for good reason. Good reason.
Liz, I would actually like to change the topic in case she's listening. I am not kidding.
It's all good. I'm just gonna say here, like, by the way, to those who remember,
to the chemical
so
plant.
Chief Irons inherited Ben's death in the remake.
Ada, wait.
Yeah.
That's
in
what
the
they changed around.
in the orphanage or whatever.
Yep.
We now have access to the
Because Ben basically gets, you know, literally face grabbed by Mr. X through the wall.
Can you meet me there?
I love both deaths.
Yeah, they're great.
Like the classic and remake. But yep, this is my Ben. It's all about Ben. I know quite a few people are not so keen on the remake Ben. Oh, what am I doing? Too many practice runs today, getting a bit confused. Don't poison me again. Okay. Yeah, sorry for the gasp earlier when you guys were talking, because I actually got poisoned, and that was the thing I was most worrying about this run today.
I wasn't watching the run, but I saw where you were, like in the jail cells, and I was like, oh, I know what happened. Poor guy.
Yep, you got the poison. I'm also known for spider memes as well, because one time I was running RE3 and I was danger after the worm, and you know the tackle the spiders usually do? I got mopped by that and it killed me.
Wait, I may have seen that.
Optimal strat.
No, it could have been somebody else.
Quick shots are so scuff right now.
Spider memes, spider memes, spider meme.
Ada.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna talk about the other thing I'm known for because I'm really embarrassed by it. It's something I died, another enemy that I died to in.
Is this time for another challenge? Is it so embarrassing it's worth challenging our community for more donations? Is it that? Is it juicy?
Yeah, you could actually have a small donation goal.
Well, actually, 1,500. If we make it to 1,500, then SmashF13ND will willingly embarrass themselves. Well, how's that?
Yep, that sounds good.
1,500 people.
Actually,
you know what? I'll also tell an embarrassing story, unrelated to Resident. Unrelated to Resident Evil. I mean, it could be Resident Evil related if you want. But I'll tell an embarrassing story if we reach 1,500 as well.
Let's do this.
I'm pretty sure I actually have a clip somewhere as well, so I don't know if that's cool or anything, if I could just post that in relation to the goal as well.
Yeah.
So it's even more embarrassing for me.
Leon,
Alright.
that woman was... I have to talk to her.
Alright, so we're gonna quickly equip the pistol for Ada so we can make the cutscene coming up a little bit faster.
By the way, I just want to say this is our first online marathon, but with the way everything's been going, the response from the community at large, both the NoReset community and the Twitch community, it's not our last, and we'll be coming back with more themed marathons like this. The plan is to have 4 of them a year. So the online ones on top of the live ones whenever they start again.
You're the one who's with that
So
cop, if I'm not mistaken.
keep an eye out.
Identify yourself.
That's gonna be really nice.
Ada?
I have a couple
Ada
of
Wong.
ideas.
Ada Wong. I've heard that name.
Could there
before.
be some type of Metal
No,
Gear
I remember.
marathon, maybe?
I would
One
love
of the
that
men
so
from
much.
Chicago who came to assist
Oh,
the T-virus
yes,
research
that would be
used his
amazing.
girlfriend's name as his password. Ada and
I don't know if the
John.
metal. Well,
How did
I
you
mean,
know?
if you count acid
Who
and
are
all
you?
like Peace
Annette
Walker and all that
Birkin.
stuff.
My husband is the man responsible
Yeah, if you
for the
count all the
creation
Metal
of
Gear
the
Solid
T-virus.
games, there's probably
William Birkin.
at least a
What?
2-day marathon to take out of
John's dead. He became one of those zombies.
Yeah, that'd be great.
My condolences.
it. Great Fox!
And although I regret
Metal
this,
Gear.
you will be joining him shortly. I won't let
All right,
anyone take
we
the
must
shot.
have reached our $1,500 goal
See?
Oh, we're talking about
because somebody
It's
just
capable of
somebody just
creating the
embarrassed
ultimate
himself with that voiceover.
T-virus. Then that must mean the creature in the police department is
ID, what's the Russian
Precisely.
gun ship doing here?
my husband, William.
Looks like
And
the
it's
elevator in the
all
back is the only way up.
Stop.
None of this would have happened if they hadn't tried to steal his research
G-Virus
away from
was
him.
the last one was pretty nice. I gotta admit.
Hey, it could be worse. I could be dubbing over this game for you because I've played it like a million
So those
times.
rats never
Yo,
carried
VGR, go
the
get David Hayter and
As a result
him
of
in
his
Discord.
virus-induced transmutation.
That would be so sick.
Oh,
Lost
man.
any prior memories he had as
We
a
could-
human
I would probably
being.
literally cry live on stream right now if you did that.
if we ever do
Bioweapon
a Metal Gear related
has the
event,
ability to
I wouldn't be
implant
surprised if we would be able to get David Hayter on the project because I know he
and
is
create
very
offspring.
fan focused, you know, like, and for something like this, that's something I could see, honestly. So, never say never.
That would be amazing. He even still does not David, Snake
Too
imitations, which is great, and he's not even on any projects at the moment. Oh no, Annette, I mean Ada, please. Not really focused on the run too much anymore, I'm just focused on Metal Gear! Ah, I was meant to get the scare.
Ada?
So if you press spacebar, which is the door skip button, about 2 seconds when that cutscene actually triggers, you can actually save like, I don't know, less than a second or something without the Ada screen, which is pretty interesting. And now we're going up to our good friend, the Croc.
Yo, once again, guys, I hope everyone is doing everything in their power, especially those fans of the Resident Evil series and those of the Resident Evil community, to spread the word amongst other members of the community. Let them know what's going on right now, and you know, trying to see what we can do. There's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of people in stream right now, and if we just had a little bit of support from everybody, I know we could crush this goal in an instant.
I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. Like, people have been like doing some great legwork. We're already at 1,200. Honestly, I do believe that within the next 20 minutes or so, we can pull in another $290 to reach the 1,500 mark.
I really hope so.
Yo, I heard that if we reach $1,500, G-Virus will do a freestyle and DD Gaming will beatbox. That's what I heard.
If we reach how much?
1,500.
Nah. That's nah. I mean, if we reach 10K by the end of day one, like before midnight, no, okay, I'll freestyle. I'll do something.
So I'm going to bed.
I'm not sure
It
if...
may be a freestyle, but it ain't free. That's for sure.
Yo, I wrote a bar like that
Leon.
once.
This bullet wound is
I'm
making
not sure if
things
anyone's like
easier.
too familiar with this run, but I said to
Leon.
myself and the people I was in
I'll bet
Discord
you.
with before practicing that I wasn't gonna YOLO Croc, but I actually just YOLO'd and actually got it,
That's
which it
true,
only
I
saves
believe.
less than a second,
Don't
but
mention it.
it's kind of cool to watch. It's nice as well because if I actually missed that, then there's a huge, well, not really a huge chance. I would have literally died.
Never mind. Let's just get out of here. The sooner the better.
Oh man. By the way, fun fact, level best, like, I can actually grab every single bar from Rap God, and I'm working on Godzilla, but I haven't had time. But I'm hella rusty.
Did we get a don? You said there was already a donation goal for that, right?
See, maybe I'll just do the... I can't do all of Rap God because I don't think that's stream friendly, but I could do like the really fast part. I could try if when we reach 10K. I'll commit to that.
Alright, you heard it here first.
Just do Raptor's Delight and call it a day.
That's just 9 minutes. It's okay. 7? 9?
Alright, now we got the 2 emblems ready to open the labs, pretty much.
You mentioned Rapper's Delight, and I can hear Squee downstairs saying something, but I have headphones on, so it's... I don't know what she said, but it was about Rapper's Delight.
Imagine if it was something like, yeah, I've heard them practicing that before.
That's your favorite bedtime song.
So what is that, like, was that a gachapon? You had to put the coin in the machine?
Yeah.
What's your prize?
I guess a free trip to the laboratory.
Oh, Squee was rapping, actually.
I heard if we reached $65,000.
Optimal ram breaking. It's pretty simple to explain. You just gotta keep making him come down the same hole. It kind of helps him not. It doesn't help him struggle to actually break through the metal, so it's kind of a bit faster.
So that's basically reverse whack-a-mole with the pistol.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
nails are long.
Birkin needs a manicure, that's for sure. Those nails are out of control.
Oh, they are beautiful.
It's not his fault.
I love
it's
them.
Quarantine's fault.
That's true.
True.
Birkin's been in quarantine for so long, but so long his nails got.
Taking a free grab here because it's faster to shake him off. Oh, she did it. Nah, I just want a zombie hug.
No, 2 meters. Social distancing. Oh. Big juke.
Nice. We got all of the jukes. I'm gonna grab a safety fast here because I don't want to get bodied by train Birkin. We're gonna be going for optimal strats, by the way. See if we can actually get it. Gonna pick up extra ammo for later on too. Now we got everything we should need. But the best part of this run for me has to be the menuing. So on PC that we have 60 FPS menu, so it's kind of weird to explain the menuing because it's 60 FPS. You can press different buttons for menu shortcuts. So if you open the menu and press down left, you'll go to the 4th slot. So it's less inputs for further menuing down the menu. And there's like different inputs, like down right for 5th slot, I believe.
Interesting. So in the remake, this one you're going up, not down, and it's your chair, not
yeah. So there's shortcuts for 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8 actually. But the only one that I'm not really comfortable with is 8. Oh, dropping quick shots already. Don't you dare!
Scared.
Stay away! Dropping so many quick shots, this is a bit yikes.
Got this.
This is why we picked up the fast. Because I knew I was going to choke at some point during the run.
Oh!
It's typical.
That's
Oh, I
right.
skipped that a bit too soon too.
Made a choke, but you're still breathing. And
die on me.
we have another donation from
Wake up.
DDG. $12.22 says we got a 2-2-2-2-2 after all.
Thanks for the donation. Every time someone says like 2 or 7, it just reminds me of those other streamers, you know, where they just have constant spams for text-to-speech with 7 and 2s.
I actually haven't seen that before. I've seen but
We're inside
not 7s and 2s.
I'll
Yeah,
go
yeah.
find something to treat that wound.
That's why I
Just
was doing the
rest here in the
2,
meantime.
because that's how I would usually pronounce it, with 2,
Down
2,
with
2.
injuries. Go. Save yourself.
I told you,
And we're
it's
coming
my
up on the
job to
last
look after you.
10-ish minutes to the run now.
You'll be in danger if you stay with me. Only known you
The
for a
most
short
scary
period
parts
of
to the
time.
labs is lab lickers
Enjoy
1
being with you.
and 2. So we go past them once
know
to go and
I'm
grab
not
a few
capable of
things and then we
caring
come
about
back.
anyone.
So that line, both of
I
those
don't
lines
want to
actually have
lose
to
you.
be super
We're leaving
specific,
this
otherwise
place
that
together.
I may get
Wait here
bodied.
for me. I'll be right back.
And the final boss, Dog Birkin, is going to be another yikes situation. But I'm not really worrying so much, because I'm pretty confident. Okay. We're gonna run to the freezer right now to pick up the power supply to the labs. God knows why they keep the power supply in the freezer, but they just do. No. I think the toughest part, or one of the toughest parts to learn this run, has to be the menuing, because it's so bizarre. Like, down left really quickly goes to the 3rd slot, and it's just so mind-blowing that 2 inputs goes to somewhere completely different on the menu than you would expect. Alright, now we're gonna power the labs. Oh, I suppose I should explain the door skips too, now that we have some free time. The door skips are usually, if it's an actual door with a doorknob to it, then that's like 2.6 seconds to actually skip it. Stairs I think are 1.2, something like that. I did write it down, but it's been such a long time since I've ran this game that I forget. And the labs doors here are usually like a second. Right, lab lickers one. No. I knew this was gonna go wrong. Oh god. It's gonna happen. It might happen. Please don't end it in lab lickers too. Oh, I thought it was in the next room. Kind of panicking right now, I'm not gonna lie. No. Is there a fast here? No, that's only for Bert. Damn. No! Oh, I'm so worrying about lab lickers too. Woo. Please don't end it here. I don't want to be the one to die. just got real tense all of a sudden. I got the second one left. I'm definitely gonna have to heal with these two herbs up here. Oh no. Okay, I may not die, but I may slightly go over estimate, which is my next fear rather than being poisoned, is going over the estimate.
Take your time, it's all good.
Let's see if I can get YOLO ammo disc. Might be a bad idea on my HP, but I'm pretty confident still. No, I'm not confident anymore! No way!
You.
Okay.
You murdered my
Well,
husband. I know what you're
if this was a fully
looking for.
consistent run from me, then would that be really fun? Honestly.
From me. This is
We
my
gotta have some
husband's
tension.
legacy. Now,
Suspense.
where's that spy you were working
I mean, unless someone drops some bombs right now, I mean, I guess we won't get embarrassed after all.
What?
You really don't know anything.
Well,
do
we
you?
might actually have a chance to get embarrassed two ways.
She's one of the candidates sent here by the agency.
That all depends on the lovely viewers.
While it's still doing like cutscenes and things, I like to say it's really great to see the progression of Resident Evil 2 as a speedrun game. Like Resident Evil 1 and 2 are probably two of the most optimized in the entirety of the series. When I came onto the speedrunning scene, you know, the GameCube, Resident Evil 2 on the GameCube is what was popular. Leon A on the GameCube. Very few people ran Claire A. Leon A is really a big thing because you know, you don't have to go and make the antivirus as Leon, and you don't have to worry about Sherry. So there's a lot. It's easier and it's safer if I'm not mistaken. There's less lickers. But to see people go from, you know, those 50-some minute runs on GameCube, you know, watching Doors, to move on to PC nowadays and skipping Doors and things like that, coming out with these 50-minute runs, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
And one thing to people maybe watching us who aren't as familiar with speedrunning as a whole, but the more a game matures in the speedrunning sphere, the harder it gets to optimize and shave off seconds. And the best example I can give is like Super Mario Brothers, the first one on the NES. It's gotten to a point where they optimize for frames. The game runs at 60 frames a second. So they're optimizing 60ths of seconds. That's what they're working on. And they still manage to like trade the world record every couple of weeks. Sometimes the world record will shift from one person to another like 3 times within the same week. It happened recently. So it's there's a tremendous amount of work from the whole community around a certain game coming together to not just, you know, it's cooperative competition is what I like to call it, because the community works together to be able to drive down the time as much as they can.
Yeah, it's pretty insane as well. Like, the first ever speedrun that I actually learned was HD Remaster. And like, even now that people are still finding new strats, and it just blows my mind.
No. I promise you that we
So it just goes to show, no matter how old a game is, people still run it, and they still try to find new strats to make it more optimized.
It's really funny to me, being a former Resident Evil 3 speedrunner. There was a time with Resident Evil 3 on PC where people were like, sub 50 minutes? Never. That's impossible. And now we're seeing like 40-minute runs on that game after so many years. It's absolutely insane.
It is great. The most sad cutscene ever.
Yeah, rip Ada.
Ada is supposedly dead.
See you again in Resident Evil 4, Ada.
Shh, some people might not know that.
In the dream, Leon still dreams of her after all these years. She's the one that got away, or fell into a bottomless pit, as it were.
In a dream, my love, you will find my heart.
Or goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. It's all fitting. Cue sad love song.
I can't believe this is happening to me right now. I did 4 practice runs earlier, they're all finished, and now this is happening. I'm scared!
It's so funny with the delay to like hear the reaction and then like this scene. I'm like, man, was it really that serious? Oh yeah, it was serious.
It pretty was.
So for the people watching on the stream, there's no delay because his reactions are actually synced up with. But whew.
All right. Caution.
Oh, see that?
Final boss fight.
I'm getting some very strong Metal Gear Solid vibes from this particular room. You know, with the elevator in the middle and the back.
Yeah.
Same kind of elevator too.
But before this boss fight gets serious, I'd like to say thank you to Young J214 for the $20 donation, saying surprised his run didn't die to RPD crows with Dean as the runner.
Yeah, that's real.
I knew that.
Just wanted to see if you were following along.
Yep. No way. Stay.
Bad Birkin. Bad Birkin.
If you stay, you'll be a legend. You're a legend.
Excuse me, sir. Put a leash on your dog.
You're a legend.
Oh my god. I get that
You're a
reference.
legend. Sorry, I just had to celebrate so hard just then because I really thought I was gonna die at some point. This run has so many shambles, but we finished. So time is about to be as soon as black screen hits, which is in a bit. There we go. Oh my god, we finished.
It's done. 14 seconds overestimate. That's not too bad, considering.
That's,
you know, that's what an estimate
so
is for.
Bad.
Nah, stop it. It's
slow poke, slow poke, slow poke.
Why do I have to be the first one to go overestimate?
If you don't have a slowpoke emote, spam your Pokemon emotes in chat, please, in support of SmashF13ND's amazing time. Thank you so much, man. Truly appreciate it. That was a great run. That was a great run. Really great conversation. It's unfortunate. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed, but the moment we began to get serious, numbers dropped. But that's okay because there's still tons of you guys here supporting this amazing cause.
Oh, we're on rotation on front page, so it's normal. It's to be expected. It'll fluctuate, but we're always gonna have a great time. That's not gonna change.
Yeah, but again, appreciate you guys sticking around. I hope you really enjoyed the content because, you know, we're going all weekend long. Well, it is the day's events. What time is it? Like, how many hours are left in today?
Well, until midnight. Sure. So it's like less than...
Okay. So about 7 hours. There's about 7 hours left in today, and then we'll be picking up again tomorrow, and then the same on Sunday. So thank you for your continued support, and thank you, SmashF13ND, for an amazing run.
That was
okay, no problem. Can I just say one thing before I leave? That I know that was overestimate and everything, but a sub 52 is still by no means a rubbish time or anything like that. That is still pretty solid considering how many times that I went into caution. And as everybody, all the speedrunners know that you go into caution or danger, the slower you become. So that was expected as soon as I hit caution, like 2, I think 3 times maybe. I lost track at some point, but that was still a really good time.
Oh yes, most definitely. We were only kidding with the slowpoke
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, it's a tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever someone goes over estimate in the live event, we have a small slowpoke plushie and we take it to the runner. But it's all good-hearted fun. And I mean, DDG's got a good point. The biggest slowpoke award actually goes to the level best because the timer is still running on this Resident Evil 2 run.
That's very true. That's very true.
Because that run was never finished, so we're gonna have to do the math at this point. Whenever you submit it,
look. At this point, call me Slow King. All right.
You skip the slow, bro. You skip the slow, bro. Straight to Slow King.
But yeah, I just had to make that clear for like the people who are watching that may not know about the run or anything. So I just had to be clear.
No worries.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Right, well,
there's close to 1,600 people watching this right now. I can tell that probably 90%, 99% of the people watching right now couldn't beat under 55 minutes. So it's still a real achievement. And that's why I keep telling people, you don't need to be top 10 on the leaderboards to be speedrunning a game. And still, it doesn't discredit you from putting out amazing runs. Because honestly, beating Resident Evil 2 under 55 minutes is still, like, to me, I would probably still be in the RPD after 55 minutes, dying over and over again.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
And my name's G-Virus. I should be ashamed of that fact. You know?
it just like as a speedrunner, you expect so much of yourself because you know your own potential. Do you know what I mean?
It was,
and that was not my best. Trust me.
It's fine, but at the end of the day, if you were on your own stream, you would have reset that run a long time ago, right? But you're no reset.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I mean it when I say that was an amazing run and it was entertaining and everyone had a great time. And once again, thank you so much, SmashF13ND, for coming to our very first online marathon. And trust me, I've been there. My first marathon experience was at Games Done Quick with 90,000 people watching, and so I know what it's like. Trust me, I know what it's like when you're doing your first marathon run. You feel like the whole world, all eyes on you, and every single micro mistake that you make, it's like weighs heavily on you. And all I can say, man, it's just another run. Definitely. Just have fun, and I hope that you had fun because I know everyone watching did. I know I did. Level Best did. I won't speak to DDG because I won't speak for DDG because he complains all the time, but that's another story altogether. But I mean, what do we have next, Level Best? I know we have more Resident Evil coming up, but what's in our immediate future?
Of course, more and more Resident Evil every day, all day. Coming up next is Resident Evil 2, but this time we'll be doing Claire B, finishing out the story. Unfortunately, not the canon scenarios, but anyway, it'll also be on PC, being run by Mango Punch.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's coming up shortly. We're gonna have a short break. Thank you once again to SmashF13ND. If there's anything you'd like to say in regard to the stream, feel free. You have the floor.
I gotta say thanks for everyone to coming out to support me and making me not feel so bad that I went over estimate, but that was great. And thanks for all the people who keep donating, and I hope you keep donating more in the future because we still got a good couple of days left until this is over. And we got that donation incentive to beat as well, right?
Yep.
About the embarrassing story.
That is very true.
So go ahead and donate for that if you want to see an embarrassing clip about my run of Resident Evil 2 Leon.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again, SmashF13ND. And we're going to go to a quick break, get ready for Resident Evil 2 Claire B with Mango Punch, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.